Here's a little song I wrote. You might want to sing it note for note. Don't worry. Be happy. In this life. Hi guys. Today I wanted to share with you what I think is one of the coolest 3-chord songs you can play on the guitar. Not only does it only use 3 chords, but it's also got a very regular progression which doesn't change throughout the whole song. So it's got a 4-bar progression which stays the same. If you want to work on changing chords, you really want to be looking at your left hand. You don't want to be reading a complicated chord progression off a sheet. Definitely not one with words and chords. I think it's much better just to focus on the pattern of the chords and then just to add the singing and the words in later. There seems to be a common misconception that this song has something to do with Bob Marley, but this song is not a Bob Marley song, it's a Bobby McFerrin song. Bobby McFerrin is an incredible vocalist with enormous vocal range, and he actually recorded the song using only sounds that he made with his voice. So it's 17 separate voice tracks. And what we're going to do today is we're going to take the harmonies that his voice creates and we're going to play them as chords on the guitar. So the song is in the key of B major, which is quite a difficult key on the guitar. So we're going to use a capo. We're going to put the capo at the 4th fret, and we're going to think like we're in the key of G. So we put the capo on. It's nice to tune the guitar with the capo on. So you'll be tuning G sharp, C sharp, F sharp, B, D sharp, and G sharp. So you need a chromatic tuner if you want to do that. So you put the capo on the 4th fret, and then you tune to the actual notes. But then once we've tuned, we forget that the capo is there, and we just think of it as though we're playing a shorter guitar. And we forget about this whole section of the guitar, like it's not there. And we're going to play a G chord, an A minor chord, and then we're going to go to C, just one finger moves between the two, and then back to G. Now I always recommend learning the G with 4 fingers, although you can also play G just with 3 fingers. And if you're a really absolute beginner, you can also just play G with the 3rd finger on the 3rd fret. That's totally fine and it sounds great. So the pattern of the chords is 2 bars of G, 2 bars of A minor, 2 bars of C, and 2 bars of G. And then it starts again on G. So notice that the pattern begins and ends with G. So we're going to have a lot of G's in that middle part. Now what I suggest is strumming 2 strums per bar. One way of thinking of it is we're just going to strum each chord 4 times. That's another reason why it's a really great song to learn, just to focus on your changing, because it sounds great with a really simple strum. So I'll take you through that just. And that's one full pattern, and it's as simple as that. From G to A minor, we've got to do a little bit of a jump to change. We don't have any leading fingers, but I would focus on finger 1 and finger 2, moving down and back almost in their same formation, widening out and moving back, and then finger 3 filling in afterwards. And that's a really useful, a really nice change to practice. And then of course to C, it's just the 3rd finger swings around the middle finger and comes up to the 3rd fret. Then we change back. I like to aim for the G with finger 2. So when we're changing to G, it's nice to get finger 2 down first, and then the other fingers kind of follow. Of course, if you're doing one of the other Gs, if you're doing just the simple G with finger 3, it's nice and easy to change to. And if you're doing the 3-finger G, that's also totally fine. I would still recommend for that one really aiming, landing with the middle finger and letting the other fingers follow it. So it's quite nice when you're changing chords to always have one finger, even if you don't have a pivot finger, at least you have one finger that kind of goes down as a limb and lands you there first, gives you a soft landing, if you like. So if you want to just get really good at the changes, you can just practice moving through the changes without really worrying about the song. If you want to sing along, I just recommend 4 nice slow strums. So just for the theory side of things, it's 2 bars per chord. So if we're strumming 4 times, we're strumming half notes, or minims in England. So that's 2 strums per bar. But you don't need to worry about any of that. If you're new to all this, you can just think of strumming 4 times per chord. So if we add the singing in, it's going to be, here's a little song I wrote. You might want to sing it note for note. Don't worry, be happy. In this life you have some trouble. When you worry, you make it double. Don't worry, be happy. Now you may notice in the recording that at the end, that last G chord is actually not 4 strums of G. It goes G, C, G, C. Now you don't have to do that. That's kind of like an ornament just to make it a bit more interesting at the end of the line. But it's quite fun to do. So you could practice changing from the G to the C, 1 strum each. Another thing you could do if you want it to be a little bit easier is you could practice going from G to C add 9. Now C add 9 looks very similar to G. All that happens is these two fingers, finger 1 and 2, move down 1 string each in their formation. It's a really nice chord that gets used a lot in acoustic guitar playing. So that's G, C add 9, G, C add 9. I'll show you what it sounds like with the singing. In this life you have some trouble. When you worry, you make it double. So don't worry, be happy. It's actually really cool with the C add 9, and it's easier. So I recommend that. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I really hope that was of use to you. I think it's such a great song, such a nice, simple little thing that you can work on just to practice, all kinds of 3 very different kinds of chord changes. And it's nice that it has such a regular pattern, so you can really memorize it and just focus in on the hands and on the music. If you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, we'd love you to subscribe. We do a new video every week on everything guitar related, the most interesting and we hope the most useful things that we can find to share with you guys. And tabs for everything we do on our Patreon page. So if you want very comprehensive tabs for this and all the other lessons and videos that we've made, head on over to patreon.com/altguitar. And if you like the video, feel free to pluck on that like button. And if it's your first time here, you could ring the bell if you want to get notifications. We do, like I said, we do about a video once a week, and we try to make them as useful and as interesting as we possibly can. Hope you've enjoyed and very much look forward to seeing you soon. Ciao.